Hey everybody, it is almost 4 o'clock in the morning in the East. and I'll say this one more time. Hey everybody, it is almost 4 o'clock in the morning in the East. Welcome to Zenny62. And I am on late primarily because, and I do an explanation to my regular viewers, that I was in the middle of, first of all, Richard Hike, who regular viewers know, has covered the Coliseum Joint Powers Authorities in my meetings in my stead. Well, he has an engagement in Napa. Normally, it's easy to get a hold of Richard to do these because the Joint Powers Authorities meetings are, once a month, right? But in this instance, the Joint Powers Authority meetings have been, particularly on this Raiders issue, more often than not. So this is the second meeting in as many weeks. We had last Wednesday, which was supposed to be originally the formality, the special meeting. We had the meeting before that. And then we had a meeting that I attended. Richard couldn't attend this one, so I turned to my friend Ken Houston, who is going to be there. And I tried to get, I made a special manager place for him, but he claims that the app somehow didn't work. I'm saying this because I'm not there to coach him through it, and I know that there's some step that he missed. Ken's my friend, but I'm just saying. And then Chuck Johnson says he would do it as well, but then of course he's got this other project, and he says call me and help me call in the morning, be substitute manager thing. So I'm just being real with everybody. This is what I'm faced with. So right now, and the reason why I say this is because, as I've said before, Zenny62 Media is such that if you have a smartphone, anyone can do media in this, and just follow a simple set of instructions. That's it. And it's far different from the other media that will be there with their camera people who are making a fair amount of money, considering the amount of money that the content they produce brings back, which isn't much at all. They're quite literally, as my friend KPIX anchorman Joe Vasquez once said, living on borrowed time. But it is right now, by contrast, if one of the Zenny62 Media bloggers walks in with this smartphone, it dramatically reduces the economics required to report the news by a lot, okay? So that's where I'm at right now, and I really am pushing this because, first of all, the system works, produces news, it's proven, I've used it for a year, no one else does it, and it really is the platform that allows us to build the CNN of the 21st century. Okay, so that, and because of that, I just couldn't sleep, and I thought, well, I've got to get this other piece out, because I made this analysis of the rents for the NFL, which is really what you came to see, right? If you're up at this late hour. And then I'll get to some administrative matters I want to address for a moment. But at any rate, these are the rents in ascending order. So the Miami Dolphins pay $0. And really, that's an asterisk because the owner, Mr. Ross, he owns Hard Rock Stadium. He owns the stadium. The Cincinnati Bengals are at $0. The Redskins are at $0. The Rams, that's another asterisk because Stan Kroenke owns the stadium. He's paying debt service on bonds, private bonds, for the facility. The Panthers are at $0 for similar reasons. The Chargers are actually $1 at this point, and they are at StubHub, and they're due to move in with the Rams at the new facility in the City of Champions, Inglewood. The Cleveland Browns, $250,000. The Detroit Lions, the same. The Arizona Cardinals, $304,000. The Titans, Chiefs, Bills, Green Bay Packers, New York Jets, Jacksonville Jaguars, Indianapolis Colts, the Dallas Cowboys, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the New York Giants. Actually, that's actually 5.2 million, or excuse me, not 5.25 million. Uh, that's the Giants shares 2.5 million. The Jet shares 2.5 million. See, okay, so actually, what this is that this should be corrected because um, the total here, and I apologize for this. The Jet share is correct. All right, it's the Giant share that's inflated because it should be divided by 2. So therefore, this is going to change the sort. Boom. All right. So it should, and it did not. If I'm going to have to call for a resort. Hold on a second. So I do it like this. Right here. And I go to sort. Format, what is it? Tools. I forgot how that goes. There's a sort. It is a sort function that I'm looking for. So I'll go to help, search, sort, S-O-R-T, and reduce, sort like that, and then press descending. Okay, and there we are. That's the new order. All right. So, in fact, I did that the wrong way. Let's try this. Okay, let's undo sort. Click that. Click only his. Click this here. That wasn't correct. And then we go back to sort there. And here, sort there, okay? And then we hit extend selection like that, all right? Descending, or excuse me, ascending order, okay? Like that. And there we are. That's the way it looks. So now, as we scroll down, we have the New York Jets and the New York Giants where they should be. All right, see how we do that? Okay, so now that's correct. So then we scroll down. We have Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 3.5 million. Houston Texans at just over 4 million. Chicago Bears at 6.3 million. The Raiders here at 7.5 million. And then note, the Baltimore Ravens are at Minnesota Vikings are 8.5 million. The Raiders at 9.7 million. Excuse me, the Ravens are at 9.7 million and the 49ers at 24 million. However, when the if the Raiders if the Raiders wind up staying for another year, 2020, they will go to just behind the 49ers as having among the highest rents in the NFL collected, okay? The Eagles and the Saints are unknown, but that's where the Raiders will be. And thus continuing a journey that has that really saw the Raiders start out at among the lowest. You have to remember something. The Raiders get, and what offsets this is the Raiders actually get their game day expenses paid for. No other team in the NFL has that distinction. Keep that in mind. So, and then that's very important to keep in mind. Hey, son, how are you doing? The Raiders, again, are the only organization in the NFL to enjoy all, to my knowledge, if there's a correction, let me know, but to my knowledge, they're the only organization in the NFL that currently enjoys a situation where their stadium rents, their stadium game day expenses are paid for by the Joint Powers Authority, all right? So that's a big deal. So this situation, this new lease, which I expect to be passed, I expect it to be a formality. This will, you would say, why? Because over a period of 2 years, they will have the biggest gains. They'll have 2 million in this year, and then they'll have 5 million the next year. That's five. They'll $2.5 million in a gain from a transaction each year is the greatest year-to-year revenue take the Coliseum has ever seen from one transaction in its history. Okay, um, and that, as I've said before, and I'll say again, that underscores how badly the facility has been managed prior to the arrival of Scott McKibben. I know there are people who don't like hearing it, but it's true. All right, it's true. The Coliseum has for too long been undervalued. It has been a completely undervalued asset, and unfortunately, uh, there has been a lot more bad done to the Coliseum than good. Okay, it's a great gray lady that deserves better treatment than it's received from from a number of places, and it's very sad. It's very sad to walk into that facility, to walk in the Oracle Arena and the stadium, and see this beautiful giant complex be so underutilized. Uh, the city of Oakland and the county of Alameda run the Coliseum as if it's a giant high school gymnasium. Okay, and it's the worst aspect of this entire situation is the public doesn't care. I'm not sure what the public cares about anymore, frankly, because between this incredibly high rate of underemployment and people just making, these schedules with multiple jobs, like everybody's a Jamaican today, I say, where the joke is that if you're Jamaican, you were making money from different places. Now everybody's a Jamaican, and that means that everybody is tired. You're fried, and you don't have enough time to really get involved in what really is the extracurricular activity of a meaningful protest that doesn't involve getting out in the street. It involves something deeper, including making your own media, filing lawsuits, and I think making legislative change, which is more powerful than making your own than protesting. All right. So, or even filing a lawsuit, because you're filing a lawsuit based on an acknowledged law, as opposed to getting involved in legislative change to change laws. It's a big difference. All right. So the meeting starts at 8:30 in the morning, and hopefully I'll have a live stream there. Keeping my fingers crossed. Have I heard anything about the name rights? No. In fact, I'm glad you asked, because the naming rights agreement has sort of went silent. I expect, however, I expect the executive director's report tomorrow to include some mention of that. All right. So we'll have to just wait and see, and if that indeed is the case. Okay. I'm scrolling down to see if there's been any adjustment in the agenda. I know that when I scroll down, the board package was amended. It says board package. The agenda that says board package amended, and the amended board package is 26 pages. Okay, 26 pages. Wow. This includes the executive director's report. And I missed this. You asked me about naming rights. Here it is, okay? Naming rights stadium. Discussions and negotiations continue on the naming rights for the stadium. We are currently engaged in discussing terms and a contract. If all goes well, we will bring it to the JPA board for approval in April. So there you go. Indoor Football League. Discussions are ongoing with the Indoor Football League to put a team in Oakland and play at Oracle Arena spring of 2020. League executives come back in April for additional discussions on a site visit. They will contract them through AAG as an arena event. If they decide to move forward, fingers crossed, they will make their final decision late summer. And then we get the general manager's report. We have the event activity. We've had for February, including the Monster Jam, Justin Timberlake. I'll put a link up to this as well. And there's a staff report resolution approving and authorizing the execution of supplement number 7 in the master lease agreement, and gives a full background, and it says the parties have entered several supplements. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, this is too important not to leave a link up on here, okay? And so, you know, I'm writing in closing, the entire 26-page report, Coliseum JPA report for this meeting is available to read and download via this link. And so, boom, there's the link. And so what in addition to it being available that way, what I'll also do is make the PDF into a text file so that you can actually have a text version, all right, of the report that you can read online and become searchable, all right? It's easy to do, only takes a few seconds. I don't know that I'll do it tonight, but it's easy to do. Okay, so, but it's right here, and also for those of you who want to see it as I'm talking to you, right? Maybe you want to see the link, which I understand. It's not only in the description area, okay, but it is also here, all right? So it's here, right there, okay? There is the link. See the live link just appeared there, okay? So that's the full report, and so I hope that, you know, answers your question there. And let me see if I can try something here. Yeah, okay. Because my screen had frozen on me for just a second, all right? So Sun Wukong, I hope that answers your question. I will look through this and look some other additions, okay? It says the Raiders have requested the master lease agreement be extended until in the 2019-2020 football season as this construction proceeds. In addition to an option year, the Raiders must exercise this option on or before April of 2020 for the following season, okay? So the Raiders have a while. They can quite literally wait until April of 2020 until they say, okay, we need an extra year. The staff has worked with the Raiders to accommodate this request, resulting in the attached supplement number 7 to the master agreement and exhibits to the master supplement, including as Exhibit A to the supplement is a settlement agreement to resolve an ongoing dispute between the Raiders and the authority regarding the amounts, if any, due from the Raiders for the authority share parking net revenue. The Raiders have agreed to pay the authority $750,000 to settle this dispute. Congratulations to Scott. The argument there basically was that the JPA had long claimed that the Raiders owed almost $1 million in parking rents. And the Raiders said, no, we don't. Revenue. The Raiders said, no, we don't. And you calculated the wrong way. So after, I believe they went to arbitration, and basically, to make a long story short, they agreed to the settlement, okay? Okay, so the post supplement, I read the terms to you. The rent payments, the Raiders shall have paid to the authority rent of, I'm sorry, it was adjusted, $6,975,000 for the 2019 season, all right? If the Raiders, so this was adjusted downward from, it was adjusted from 7.5 million, all right? Hey, how you doing? And I need to change that, okay? And I need to adjust that. So if the Raiders, and then the rent would be $975,000, all right? The authority is guaranteed a profit of $2 million for the 2019 season by a combination of revenue and expense caps. So let me adjust that a little bit here. That is 6975. All right, hold on a second. 6975. I'm glad I read that. Let's edit. I'm just going to the edit area. So it is a slight reduction for the Raiders In rent, it's not 7.5 million. It's 6,695,000. Okay. So 1 moment, please. 6 million. Okay. So hold on a second. It is, here we go. Raiders, Oakland Raiders. Okay, it's still over the Chicago Bears. So Raiders would be 6. Put a 6 there. 6. What is that? Yeah, 6,975. All right, 6,975. Yeah, and then in year 2020, it would go to 9,975. Yeah, 9,975. All right. So basically, the position of the Raiders in terms of ranking, 9,975, doesn't change. 9,975. All right. So I made those changes in the document, the description, which is going to become a blog post. Excuse me. Those are done. All right. So you're now completely up to date with respect to the rents. Let me continue to read what the report says, at least in a summary fashion, right? And I'll get to that in a second, Wukong. All right, just training facility under the master agreement. Upon termination of the master agreement, the Raiders are required to convey the training facility property to the authority in satisfaction of the outstanding balance of the operating loan and training facility loan. Ooh, okay. The current master agreement as amended allows the Raiders to remain in the training facility for 36 months following termination of the master agreement, provided the Raiders pay fair market rent not to exceed $525,000 per year for 24 months and rent equal to $1.05 million for the final 12 months. The supplement clarifies the dates by which the Raiders may exercise the option to continue to use the training facility. The general terms for that use: triple net lease, continued obligation for trailing obligations, excuse me, and requires the parties to negotiate within 6 months the terms of a formal written lease agreement. Just reading that, I can guess what the tie-up was, and it was in the original language. I can just guess, all right? Further approval is the management agreement between the authority, the City of Oakland, and the County of Alameda requires that each of the city and the county approve the supplement, which means that the city and county will have their own meeting to do so. Staff recommends the authority accept it. So then the rest of the document here is the actual lease, okay? The actual lease. And so, for example, section 6.1 is hereby amended in its entirety to read as follows: terms. Subject to the terms and conditions of the agreement, the terms of this license shall be for 25 football seasons, which shall be consecutive. Otherwise, you would say 25 football seasons. Well, yeah, we're talking about an lease extension, all right? So if you say 25 football seasons, I only thought they were paying for 2. You have to change the basic wording of the lease to fit in these 2 new years, okay? That's what all of this is about, okay? And so they're accessible to you by the link. And there's a lot here, sharing of cost savings, everything else, all right? There's a settlement agreement. For example, prior to August 1st, 2019, the Raiders shall pay the authority the remaining amount of the settlement amount. That's talking about the parking settlement agreement, okay? And you can get a look at even at the different lawyers involved and people, Scott himself and Dan Purcell from Kecker Van Ness and all that. Okay, so there that is. Now, to get to answering your question, my take on Le'Veon Bell's contract after his holdout, I thought it was smart. He got what he wanted. Is it with the right team? I think time will tell. Hey, Brian Carlos, how you doing? Brian says, never mind, I'm guessing what you read about the training site may have been what the dispute was over, but I'm just guessing. I think it wasn't so much over the training site specifically, but a very technical issue regarding when the Raiders could, when the Raiders exit, regarding their exit clause and what they were owed in terms of rents. I'm guessing. I don't know. But I only say that just because of the whole gobbledygook there. It just sounded like, it sounded like they needed to clear up a misunderstanding. I, however, don't know what that misunderstanding is, because I would have to go back to the original lease and see what that said, to then clear that up, okay, immediately. And I didn't prepare to do that for this show, and it's 4:21 in the morning. So, hey, Brian, are you going to the meeting in the morning by chance? Or you're in Fresno, right? Now, chance, so anyway, Sue and Combs says, after Jordy Nelson was cut, the Raiders draft, because Brown late first or Metcalf 4 overall. I tend to think that the Raiders, you have to remember, not only was Jordy Nelson cut, but the guy who married the beauty queen from Alabama got cut too. And you know I'm talking about A.J. McCarron, right? Much to the chagrin of Brent Musburger, who loved his wife. But, okay. And Joseph Emmett says, I was a little sad to see Jordy Nelson get cut, but I wonder if it was just a move to restructure his contract and bring him back at a lower rate. No, I don't think so. I really believe that the Raiders are looking to get faster. And I'm not saying that Jordy was slow, okay? But Jordy is a big, fast guy. And I think that Jordy Nelson is a fast hybrid tight end type, who can really do damage over the middle. But just look at what they've done, okay? And Williams and Brown, these are 4.40 guys, all right? So I'm just typing right now, Jordy Nelson, all right, 40 time, okay? And according to what I found, he's 4.5140, all right? And 4.5140. So I'm not saying that Nelson is slow, but I'm saying that these guys are really, really fast, and Jordy is, getting to the point where he's a wily, crafty veteran. And it was time to go with people who are faster, all right, are faster. So Joseph Mendes says, a little sad, I got that one. And McCarron, yes. And Danny Avila says, who do you think they will get to back up Carr? And Sonal Kong says, Peterman, obviously. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be him. I mean, he has a chance to compete, right? But look, given the moves the Raiders are making, it really feels like they're moving their roster around because, look, it won't be Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray, absent some big change, is going to be an Arizona Cardinal, all right? But I do believe that you've got Trent Locke, who John Gruden seems to really favor. You have Damian James from Duke, okay? You have, now I like Tyree Jackson. A lot of people aren't high on him, but I am. I think you can come away with a firecracker of a quarterback with, getting him. And then, of course, there's Trace McSorley, who I also favor. I like Tyree Jackson and then Trace McSorley. If you ask me to pick, I would say Tyree Jackson, Dwight Haskins, Trace McSorley, Kyler Murray, okay, and Drew Lock and Damian James. That's how I would order them myself. All right, so and then of course I would put Amir Hall just below Tyree Jackson, like you say. I would put Amir Hall just below him. In fact, I wonder how Amir's doing. Amir Hall. Let's see here. Amir Hall shows he's a top flight quarterback. That was March 7th. It was just last week. Good news is that he Amir Hall participated in an NFL regional combine. Okay, let's read this. This is a HBCU game day press release. And it says, that's great. Amir Hall says many HBCU fans were disappointed to see Boise State's Amir Hall fly under the radar for the 2019 NFL Combine, but there's no need to panic. The NFL draft prospect participated in the 2019 NFL Regional Combine in Kansas City on March 9th in Kansas City, Missouri, awarding him the opportunity to throw among professional scouts. That's great. And says he was the only HBCU standout in attendance. The NFL created the Regional Combine and Invitational in 2018. The event is for athletes that blah, 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 that didn't get a National Combine invite or recently waived with less than 3 years experience. NFL teams in the NFL League Scouting Service selects the players. Similar to the National Combine, the two-day event allows prospects to get looks from league staff through multiple evaluations. Day one goes to top draft-eligible college players, which Amir Hall is. And the day consisted of mental, physical, and medical assessments, and physical drills, and reps from scouts from all 32 teams. Unlike in the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl, Hall got the opportunity to show what his arm can do this time. And that's really a knock because he only got to throw once. It was cruel, and it wasn't funny. So that, there's a video of him. I'm going to post this later at Zenny62, but look, okay? That's a video of Hall getting the ball out there and going through his reps, all right? First one, and here's another one. Drop back, and there he's going, okay? So, I'd like to see a little more zip on that ball, though, but the first one really came shooting out of there. Let me see something here. He's got play action, he's rolling out. They have him rolling out on the run. That's a good throw. Okay. Gotta turn around and see this one, folks. This is really cool. Look at this, all right? This is really cool, all right? Hear me enlarge this a bit. Okay, like so. And play it from here. There, okay? Watch him. Yeah, see, he, let me try this. Okay, here we go. See, play action, roll to the right, ball comes out. That's a good one. All right? That's something you don't even see them do at the regular combine. And this is great. Nice drop back, and then he goes over. Comes out that way, having a throw on the run. And see what else they have. So they've got a few more reps here in this video example. And there should be a straight back, drop back, and that comes out like that one. Whew, bingo. Yeah. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 steps. Nice. That's a nice one too. Okay. So you get the idea. You've just seen Amir Hall throw more passes than he had the opportunity to throw at the NFL PA Collegiate Bowl game. One pass. Oh, jeez Louise. I'm gonna see if I can find some more information. Let's see what the rest of this reads. It says Hall is said to have had an impressive day at the Invitational. When asked, Hall told Dana Gorman of Our Turf Football this opportunity was exciting, especially since some scouts may not be able to make it to his pro day. So he just was showing, yeah, that's all. Didn't see anything else, but you know, hey, it's good news. And to show you, okay, so he's written up there. He's also written in NFL Draft Diamonds, and NFL Draft Diamonds, NFL Regional Combine Wrap-Up. Who showed, who shined, and what's next is the title here. This is by Damon Talbot. And Guess who's right at the top? Check this out, okay? Look at this, all right? NFL Regional Combine wrap-up, right? Amir Hall, right at the top, okay? And Amir Hall boys straight dominated the NFL's Regional Combine Invitational in Kansas City today, according to Kevin Gray of Sports Radio America. So, hey, you know what? He should have been at the regular combine. This increases the possibility that he will get drafted. This is great news. Great news. I'm scrolling down. It says there were several standouts Saturday, and of the players to take full advantage of his opportunity. Bowie State QB Amir Hall, and you have the his NFL draft highlights there, and it says Hall had an impressive workout in front of scouts, showing a strong arm and athleticism through Saturday's drills. The 2017 Black College Football Player of the Year displayed impressive arm strength and accuracy during throwing drills. Hall also led all of D2 football with over 4,100 yards passing and finished 5th with 31 touchdown passes. The Bowie State product was last seen in the field the 2019 NFLPA Collegiate Bowl, where he too impressed scouts with his poise and accuracy from the pocket. Speaking with Kevin Gray of Sports Radio America, Hall stated that he wants to continue improving my footwork. That was really the main thing. I came out of college really trying to work on. I'm working on it now. It's getting better each day and every day, and I think I'm going to showcase it on my pro day. So then there's, so Hall and there's talking about Chris Johnson, defensive back out of Northern Alabama, who showed great footwork and balance during defensive back drills while displaying natural hands catching the football as if he were intercepting it. So there you go. Amir Hall, that's the Lord, you know, and also bloggers like me, like, yeah, just screaming their heads off about this. Okay. Pedro says, looks like Josh Allen will fall to us. That could happen, but here's the thing. I would caution anyone. I would caution anyone who believes that the Raiders are going to go into this draft with all 3 first-round picks. I smell a trade. And if you want to get an idea of what the Raiders might do upcoming for the draft, just take a look at what's going on with free agency. And I don't mean from a standpoint of who they're picking. I mean from the standpoint of who they're picking and what they're paying. You already have Antonio Brown. You have the Browns is the highest paid wide receiver and offensive lineman. All right. So you only have, as Mike Mayock has very correctly said, you only have a finite amount of money to spend. And so you have to ask yourself, all right, what am I going to spend? What do I want to spend on the draft? What's my strategy look like? I mean, undoubtedly, it's absolutely obviously the case that Antonio Brown and the decision to go after Antonio Brown completely changed not just their free agency strategy, but also their draft strategy. So I would not bet on the Raiders keeping all 3 of those picks. Okay, I don't see that happening. I think they're going to use that to maneuver, and they could use that to maneuver up, and they may try to land somebody like Dwight Haskins, who a number of people feel is actually better than Kyler Murray. But I have a feeling that by the time draft day comes around, that board is going to look significantly different than it does right now. So Joseph Armendariz says, someone says Haskins will be a breath of fresh air. Who do you think should be their number 4 overall? I'm still not sold on Devin White in the Raiders system. And I like Montez, okay? I mean, I still think I think Montez Sweat is the second coming, man. You got a guy with that kind of speed. You're looking at Myles Garrett, all right? I mean, with that kind of, like that jump step that he has, you're looking at Myles Garrett. Pedro says to trade 24 and 27 picks to move up. Sure, you look at Myles Garrett, uh, but a third wide receiver, no. A defender, or I have to really give it a good look. And I said I was going to do that, but I apologize. I also just behind on that. All right, folks, it's 4:36 in the morning. I've been on 40 minutes already. I need to get to sleep because my day is going to be upside down as it is. I'll see you all later. I may do a Friday live stream late. Not this late, like the normal time. Stay tuned, all right? And again, I apologize. Oh, by the way, those of you who did invest, and I don't think you're here, I sent out the, I sent out the spreadsheet yesterday, but I didn't have the emails for those folks who did invest, save for one person. So I have to come back and somehow get a message off to those people who did invest, all right? You said for what and for who? You mean, invest in Zenny62 Media, either by Super Chat or by PayPal. So I sent out the shares of those people who did so the other night on an updated spreadsheet. The last spreadsheet I sent out was December 11th of 2018. Yeah. All right. See you all later. Okay, take care. Oh, and by the way, if you want to invest, it's Zenny62 at PayPal, and PayPal me, right? Right here, like that there. And so you can, some people invest $2, some people invest $200. One person invested $3,000. Cool. So, hey, you get shares back though. Right now, just over 13% of Zenny62 Media is owned by Zensters. All right, about 45